Welcome back. So we are ready now to start preparing our environment to have WordPress installed locally and work on it. To achieve this, we're going to use a local web host called Xampp. If you go on Google, if you just search the name Xampp, and it will be apachefriends.org. If you click on apachefriend.org, it will open a website that looks like this. Obviously, as it says, is a PHP development environment, which means that you can host websites on it locally without even hosting it on the web. This is very useful so that you can know exactly what is going on and see exactly what you're doing before you actually publish it for people to see it. So obviously, there's different kind of operating systems on it. So if you have a Windows, you're going to select the Windows. If you have a Linux, you do select the Linux. And if you have a Mac, you're going to select the Mac one. I have a Windows PC, so I'm going to select the Windows PC, and this will tell me to download it. And I'll just let it download. So while this is downloading, so it's completed now. So we're going to open the file. So if you're using a Chrome, it will obviously show at the bottom, but because I'm using Firefox, it shows to me here as Firefox. So now it's going to give me Windows for me to select. I'll say yes, I want you to continue. Okay, so we give it a few seconds while it comes up. Okay, so it's bringing that up. I'll just close that and just select that. So it's now bringing a wizard to install it. I'll just say yes. I'll carry on, and it's gonna tell me where do I want this Xampp selected. I'm not bothered where it goes, so I'll just leave it. But recommend you always take it to your C drive. But if you have more than one drive, obviously you can select what drive that you prefer. So I'll let it go. I'll untick the knowledge base and I'll select again, and then I'll let it install. Okay, so now that it's installed, so we just after the completion we just say finish. Okay, so it's gonna now give us an option. It depends where you're coming from. So if you're from Germany, obviously select Germany. If you're English, you press English. Okay, so now this will open us Xampp. Okay, now there are some complications that you might find. If you're someone that has never run more than one service at the same time on your computer, you will not face this issue. But if you're someone like me that runs different servers and different Apaches on his PC, he will have port issues. So in this we have a port issue. So it's telling us this port has been taken by another one. So what we first do is we can select this netsat, and this netsat is going to tell us which port is actually using it. And at the moment, my system is actually the port that is using it, so I don't want to really interfere on that. So what I'll do is I'll close this, and then I will try to change this Apache to run on a different port. So the Apache one, I'll select config, and I'll select the first option. In here, the first option, I will then look for 80. So you can search for 80. So you see 80 here, but just that's not important. We want where it says listen. So I'll write another 80 there, and I'll look for somewhere else, and I'll put another 80 here on the local host, and then that's it. So remember, we have two places to change it, which is the server name and then listen. So we need to look and then listen. Okay, after this, you press Control S, or you say File, Save, and then you close this. So now that you close this is okay. But however, we need to sort out the SSL as well. So the SSL runs on a different port. So we'll click on the SSL port. The SSL runs on a 443, if I'm not mistaken. Just search for 443. Okay, that's right. So that means that our port, I already have another system running on a 443. So I can overwrite this 443 and look for somewhere else, and then I need to change the host, the virtual host 443 as well, and then I need to change the server name, and then that's it. So remember, three places: Okay, so to recap, it is the server name, the host, the virtual host, the server name, and here listen. When this is done, say File, Save, or Control S. If you're using a Mac, it's Command S. So I'll close this. And then if you want to change your MySQL as well, as you can see here, it's not telling us there's a MySQL port issue. But however, I'll change my MySQL port as well. This way, I don't face this issue anymore. So I'll change my MySQL port as well. I will change it to 16. Okay. And then I'll look for 33. And then I'll change that port to 16 as well. And I'll change this to 16 as well. And change this to 16 as well. I'll change this to 16. And that's it. You can change the port number to whatever you want. To test this if it's working or if the port we have put is right, it's available or not. We'll then say start, okay, and then it's going to ask you to allow the access. We'll say yes, give him access. So the green means yes, your Apache is live. We need to start our database as well. We say yes as well on the database. And yes, our database is live as well. So if you notice, we changed the port numbers to 3316 for the database, and we changed the SSL for 4433, and we changed the normal port to 8080. Now to test this if this is working, what we do is we go to the browser, we'll search, we type localhost 8080, okay? So if we type localhost 8080, this will bring us to a welcome page. Just to understand Apache a little bit better so that you know the file structure. So on here, you can click on Explorer. This will show you where your Xampp is saved. Okay, I'll just open this a bit more. So this is the files on your Xampp. You don't need to worry about all of this. You need to only concern yourself about the htdocs. So this one. This is where all your files are. And at the moment, if you can see dashboard, this is where it's taken. This is where we are seeing the actual main. This page is coming from here on the dashboard. So if we want to create another site, we have to create our folder in here and install it. So I hope this helps on installing Apache. And the next lecture, we are going to know how to install WordPress in this Apache and run WordPress locally. I'll see you in the next slide.